Hi, my name's Julian. I'm the founder and chief executive of a charity called Action Foundation that grew out of a church called City Church in Newcastle about 12 or 13 years ago to respond to the needs in our city of the most vulnerable asylum seekers and refugees who become destitute and who are in need of English language support. And over the last 10, 12 years we've grown as a charity to be one of the leading agencies in the country now who are supporting asylum seekers and refugees in that situation. And I've known Russ for about 10 years. In the very early days, I first met him as part of when we were both at a FaithWorks celebration event where he actually handed us an award, which was very nice of him, but also just sort of sharing a little bit about our stories. And it was a great encouragement, I think, when we were at our very early stages of thinking about how we could respond to the needs of the poor, and particularly those who had sought asylum in our area, in our community as a church. But more recently, we've reconnected, particularly as Russ has got more involved in the area of supporting refugees. Clearly there's a clear overlap with the work that we do, and I've found him very, very helpful to be able to connect us to people, particularly in London, but other parts of the country that he is working with in terms of developing our work, and particularly sort of strategic connections, perhaps for example with MPs or civil servants who he's connecting with in areas of policy or advocacy. And so that's particularly resulted, for example, in our just winning a contract to deliver a pilot with the Home Office to look at alternatives to detention. And Russ recommended us to a group of civil servants and other NGOs that were looking at how to take that forward. And so we're very grateful for his support in that area. But we've also recently gone to Washington together as part of a migrant learning exchange. And again, just sort of being able to reflect together in a different context about the challenges and opportunities that we both see, both in our context in the UK in terms of helping encourage churches and people of faith to respond to some of the big challenges that we face as a nation in terms of responding to the refugee crisis, and seeing how others in other parts of the world do that. I found Russ's comments, his reflections, his friendship and his support extremely valuable. And I think finally we're sort of having an ongoing conversation about what does it mean to be expressing our faith in this sort of way. And that's a complex conversation. It can be misunderstood sometimes. And again, I found Russ's input and support to that, and connecting us to others like, for example, Tim Farron or Maeve Sherlock, who he's working closely with, who we're hoping will come and do an event with us in the Northeast for local churches, looking at how to engage in politics or social justice and engage our faith in that area. So it's been a great joy to know Russ, and he's been a great encouragement to our work, and he's been a very strategic friend of Action Foundation. So we're very grateful. Thank you very much for supporting him, and we hope that you will continue to be able to support him in that work. Thanks a lot.